Hello, Audio Marks, coming to you from the Sachem Public Library. Welcome to the Marks for Life podcast with your hosts, Jimmy and CJ, two casuals turned Marks wrestling fans, to give you a direct line to all things in the squared circle. Enter the ring at your own risk. We pull no punches, we hit hard, and we will slam you with all the info you need to know. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? I said...
And we're live.
Ish. This is a taping.
Recording. Semantics. Anyway, welcome to Marks for Life podcast, guys. I am one of your hosts, Jimmy.
And I'm one of your hosts, CJ. How are y'all doing?
Hold on. I felt like I was appropriate.
Yes.
Well, partially appropriate.
It is that time of the month, folks, where we are going to give our predictions for this month. For this special pay-per-view coming up, No Mercy, a WrestleMania matchups galore. I didn't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, I know. I felt like you were going with something, and then you kind of rambled. I was still proud of you. You stuck the landing, at least, even though it was a rough tumbling down. So.
I got two left feet, so.
I mean, partially it's because we're pretty excited.
Yes, we have fantastic news for all of you Audio Marks right now.
Drum roll, please. And it's now we are officially on iTunes and Google Play Music. Okay, no, that's enough. Stop.
Hey, guys, guess what Marks for Life podcast did?
You just made the list.
Of iTunes and Google Play.
Oh my god. Can we like quickly describe just the amount and feelings that we were going through for this past weekend because of this? Like, literally we get a description about it like a couple days after we did our last podcast.
Yes.
Then Monday we're getting excited. And I look it up, and we're partially there. We didn't get like an official confirmation yet, but we're basically there. And then the following day, we're there on iTunes and Google Play. 3 months of work, and it's done. Thank you, God. And by God, I mean Vince McMahon, because clearly he's wrestling God. But, oh God, it was the happiest moment of my life. Like, I'm literally in class looking at all this stuff from all of our statistics on Audio Boom and all the emails that we got from Google Play and iTunes, and I'm going, is this really happening right now? And just so happy.
Now we just need Blueberry and WordPress.
Well, I mean, I kind of hooked up our WordPress to Audio Boom, so I don't know. We'll work those kinks out, but so long as we have those main platforms, basically we can do whatever we want at this point. We don't have to worry about reach. We have almost unlimited amount of reach.
And people. Power. That means I can curse whatever I want.
Well, relax now.
Oh.
Anyway, but other than that, how was your week, buddy?
It was good. I didn't really get much sleep the past week. I don't know. I just really couldn't sleep.
Was it partially exciting because of this podcast, or was it also other things?
I just really couldn't sleep. School's okay. I got to see Paul McCartney at the Barclays Center on Tuesday.
Oh, good job.
That was amazing. Barclays Center was freaking terrible, though. We got to be very careful with SummerSlam, because here's the thing. We were supposed to be let in. The concert was supposed to start at 8.
Yeah.
The doors didn't let open until 7:50. And here's the thing. They had a huge amount of gates, which was like 50 feet away from the actual entrance. So everyone was funneling in like sheep to a slaughterhouse. It was so unorganized. And if we're going to go see SummerSlam, we got to be very, very prepared for that.
Well, I remember going to NXT at the Barclays and all that, and it seemed fine. But I guess it's different when it comes to Paul McCartney, I guess. I don't know.
Well, Paul McCartney is bigger than WWE.
Yeah.
I think his net worth is worth more than WWE.
It probably is. Oh, God.
But it was a fantastic show. Jimmy Fallon was there. We sang happy birthday to him.
Oh,
and there was fire. There was a lot of fire.
Nice.
Live and Let Die. He just did the drum chord, and then fire just popped out. And we're like, oh my God, Kate is here. Oh my God. And then there was pyro and stuff. There was like fireworks. Like, what? This is Paul McCartney. This is the chill dude from the Beatles. Why is there fire?
I guess when WWE stops doing fire, everyone else starts doing fire, and then WWE will continue. Will probably go back into fire, and then everyone will stop. That's usually how it works.
Yeah.
I've had a hectic week though this past weekend.
Oh yeah, how's Reena doing?
All right, just to fill you guys in, after this podcast was like posted and everything like that, we had to take Reena to the emergency room. Nothing serious. She had some hard breathing problems. We still don't technically know. It could be allergies. It could be early signs of like developing asthma, which is weird. It could also be something called sarcoids, which is like it's hard to diagnose sarcoids, but apparently it could be that because it's a hereditary disease and her mom and a whole bunch of her aunts have it. So it's a possibility. But that was Saturday, and it was a little scary for her and everything. But she's happy and healthy from that up until Monday, after we got the fantastic news about the podcast.
Yeah.
Her dog passed away and was really sad. She was bawling and crying, but, you know, I think me and her parents, we really gave her a lot of, like, love and everything like that. And she started to feel a lot better, like, the past couple of days. She's still upset about it, but at least she's, like, more functioning about it.
Okay.
So that's that.
Did they pick a new dog? I know she was looking into that.
They're looking. It's just looking for right now. I don't know yet. I'll find out probably more tonight when I pick her up, because
she should get a cat.
That's what I've been telling her, but her parents are like, no, we're not getting a cat.
But Snuggles.
Yeah, I know.
This one can be Snaggles.
That is such a bad joke.
Oh, you're laughing.
Well, other than that, other bad news, there was other bad news that happened this week that we're going to get into a little bit later.
Yes.
With the loss of the late, great Bobby Heenan. And we're definitely going to get into a little tribute thing later on today. But let's kick it off with some wrestling news, because there was a lot of wrestling news that happened this week. And we're not going to do like a recap of Raw and SmackDown, just because I think the news is going to take up a lot more of this podcast.
Yes. Raw wasn't as big. Same with SmackDown.
I would say Roman Reigns' promo was better this week than previous weeks, but that's about it.
That's because John Cena wasn't there to tear him down.
That's true.
But, shout out to Alex Riley. All right, so we are going to just get into the news, and then we're going to get into our No Mercy predictions. We're going to get into that after this break. Hello, Audio Marks. I'm here to talk to you about Patreon. Patreon is a website dedicated to giving more power to the content creator and their patrons who support them. By giving them an avenue of direct support, these creators can create any kind of art with Patreon. Music, drawings, videos, and yes, podcasts. There's no middleman. So please head over to our page on Patreon, Marks for Life Podcast, to support us with a $2 donation. With this donation, you can get all of our podcasts on our page, and you can get a special shout out from ourselves, Jimmy and CJ. Or you could just do the regular dollar donation just to support the podcast. Now back to the show, Audio Marks. Thank you very much. And we're back. Okay, first thing on our news for the week. Starrcade is back, baby!
Wow. And it's on a Saturday, too.
Is it on a Saturday?
Yeah, 25th. I looked it up.
And isn't it in North Carolina?
North Carolina.
Greensboro?
And right before Survivor Series.
Greensboro, right?
Yep. I think it's... You know what? Looking into this, because we could have like a literal topic about this for the podcast itself to talk about like what this means for the future. But this could, this is, in my opinion, how they solve the pay-per-view, bi-weekly pay-per-view model that they've been doing since the brand split.
How so?
Because if they do it for just 1 week, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, then they get like a kind of almost like a week off. And if they do, one does like the Saturday pay-per-view, and then the other one does the Sunday pay-per-view. And I have a whole thing, and we could talk about that through like a whole big podcast. But Starrcade My only concern with Starrcade is that it's gonna go right before a Big Four pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's what I don't get when you said that. That's kind of
No, so like the bi-monthly one. So like for like No Mercy, for instance, if they did another bi-monthly for like Hell in a Cell, if that was going to be on the Saturday before No Mercy, then that would solve that issue.
Yeah.
But if it's for the Big Four ones, that's like my only issue that I have.
Because I feel like people will tune in more for the Survivor Series for the Big Four, right?
This is an interesting one because they also leaked a card for a potential card actually for Starrcade, and
what's the potential card?
So the main event would be Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke in a steel cage match. Then you have a U.S. Triple threat match between Styles, Baron Corbin, and Rusev.
Aw, my boy Ty.
Then you had Natalia and Charlotte, which would make sense because Charlotte being
continuation.
Yeah, of course.
Zayn and Owens, right?
Yeah, there was Zayn and Owens. Zayn and Owens was on that as well, and there was another one, but I don't remember off the top of my head. That was like another really big one, but I can't remember.
Didn't it include like Randy Orton or something like that?
No, but it said the Hardy Boys and Rock and Roll Express were going to be guests on that, though.
Ooh.
So I don't know. And to be honest, if I'm going to compare between Survivor Series and Starrcade, I'd have to go with Starrcade, to be honest. I like Survivor Series, but I don't know. I think that if Starrcade does better than Survivor Series, the following year they might just get rid of Survivor Series and then replace it with Starrcade.
I don't even think it's a pay-per-view.
No, it's a
live event.
Yes, but it's going to be put on the network, I believe.
That's going to be good.
Like Roadblock was for WrestleMania, though.
Yeah.
But what was it, 2 years ago?
I could deal with that. Alternating. I see what you mean. There is a SmackDown Tag Team Championship, Texas Tornado.
Yep.
New Day versus the Usos.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler.
That's what it was. That's what I was thinking of. That's going to be good.
But hey, I'm not sure if you know this, but Thanksgiving.
It's literally the Thursday before it, isn't it?
Yes, but here's the thing. I'm actually going to be in Colfax, North Carolina. I'm pretty sure that's the plan for Thanksgiving to visit my grandparents.
So are you saying that you're possibly going to be going without me, is what you're saying?
Colfax is right outside Greensboro.
I hate you. You know what? you know what? You know what?
You just made the list.
Oh, stop it. Come on. That's going to be good.
Yeah, it is going to be good. And I would probably do the same thing to you.
That would actually be the second network special I've been a part of. The first one was the Go to Hell tour for Brock Lesnar back in 2015, where he beat the living hell out of Big Show.
Yeah.
That was fun.
But there's a lot of potential that if this is what they do for pay-per-views doing the Saturday, Sundays every week for like the 1 week, instead of doing 1 week it's Raw and then the other week it's SmackDown, that could probably solve a potential wrestling overload thing. Maybe. I don't know.
I just don't want this to interfere with NXT TakeOver Houston.
No. So this is part of the problem of it. So for the Big Four ones, which is where they usually do takeovers for NXT guys, that's where the main problem is. So this is why I don't like the idea of it being around the Thanksgiving time because of Survivor Series. But
yeah,
I do want to watch Starrcade.
No, NXT TakeOver Houston's going to be November 18th.
So it's the weekend before.
Yeah, okay. So I like that though, because now NXT's getting its own real spotlight. It's not being attached to a Big Four.
Yeah, that's true, but I like the idea of being attached to the Big Four because then it makes the Big Four like, ooh, we get to watch like the newcomers as well and then watch the big boy show.
Wait, what if because we're getting the pay-per-view beforehand, we're going to get Survivor Series just pure like actual Survivor Series, like brand versus brand, women versus women, tag versus tag, NXT versus the main brand?
That's a possibility.
What if we get that now?
I guess that's speculation.
Sanity versus the Wyatts. No, just
it wouldn't be Sanity versus the Wyatts. The Wyatts don't exist right now.
No, but what if they just banded to... No, just imagine that. You had Luke Harper, Braun Strowman, and Bray Wyatt, and... Damn, there's no
woman.
female.
There's no woman unless they debut Sister Abigail for the first time ever at Starrcade.
That would be pretty chill, not gonna lie. Imagine that.
And then imagine it's Brandy Rhodes that comes out. And she's Sister Abigail.
At Starrcade?
Yes, because...
No, Survivor Series.
Well, no, but I mean... Yeah, which is also the other part of it, because Cody Rhodes on Twitter heard of this news when they broke and said, hey, Michael P.S. Hayes, book me there.
No, he said book Gold Dust.
Oh, book Goldie. And then Michael P.S. Hayes went on and said, yeah, but I think I can book you and your brother, too.
Yeah, you have an open invitation, which I think would be pretty cool to have that, because, you know, looking in the way the company is going, the amount of international talent that they've gotten, a lot of indie talent, and Triple H seems a lot more open to public relations, especially with Evolve working with other companies.
Yeah, especially in the UK and everything like that.
You know,
another thing that came up that we will talk about later.
And like, also, if you want to also think about this, Cody Rhodes could be along the same... do you remember when Ric Flair was inducted for the Four Horsemen?
Yes.
And you remember how there was a lot of legal stuff with that because he was assigned to TNA at the time?
Yeah.
So what they did was that they allowed Ric Flair to appear at the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony, TNA. And then also allowed, you know, him to appear at WrestleMania. Christian, the then Intercontinental Champion at the time, was then allowed to present the Hall of Fame at TNA's Starrcade, or Bound for Glory, whatever. So
Slammiversary, I think
was that?
Yeah, because that's when they do the Hall of Fame. It's Slammiversary.
Oh, okay.
It's sad that I know this information about TNA, but
yeah.
Still.
So WWE could potentially do something like that, where they have like, oh, they get Cody Rhodes for a night, and they give him like Seth Rollins. That'd
be pretty sweet
for ROH, like Cody Rhodes versus
or they get Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen.
Yeah,
or get El Generico back, because God willing, we miss El Generico.
Exactly. So there's a lot they could do with this, and especially if WWE is as willing as they've been in the past. But this is a giant step for them, because this is actually wrestling on television rather than, you know, just popping up for a speech.
That's true. But also, another interesting thing about it is that Starrcade was invented by Dusty Rhodes, which is the reason why Cody said all those things as well. And then another part of it, and I don't know if you saw this part, a little ways down, you see Matt Hardy say, the Hardys versus the Rhodes.
Yes.
Book it.
That would be cool, especially if the Hardys are already scheduled to be there, which is cool because it's North Carolina.
Also, the fact that between now and then, we could see a broken, woken gimmick between them, and then that's what we really want to see from the Hardys.
We can only hope.
Well, I mean, according to what we're going to be talking about a little bit later, I mean, it might be a real possibility to see broken. Yes. But let's just move on to the second part, which is a female Royal Rumble.
Thank God! Jesus Christ! Oh, thank you, Lord. Oh, Becky, you better win. Or Asuka.
Well, okay, let's back this up a little bit, because they're toying with the idea, and that hopefully it's going to get...
No, it was confirmed.
It's 100% confirmed?
Yeah, I read reports on it. Hold on. Let me get that. Let me get that good stuff.
I know that a year ago they were toying with that idea, but the problem was that they didn't have enough women for it.
But now they do.
But now because of the women's tournament that happened, and especially with older wrestlers that could potentially come back, like Beth Phoenix and
Trish
and Lita.
Yes. That would be awesome.
And also, we could get Karma, even though she technically wasn't around that much longer. But she could. And we could get the introduction of the Four Horsewomen of MMA into that mix as well.
Well, considering
with what happened with the Mae Young Classic that we talked about last week. I mean, yeah, of course.
Did you hear? Shayna got signed.
Oh,
she's officially with the company.
Well, yeah. I mean, NXT or main roster?
I don't know yet. They didn't announce that.
Because I would expect her getting on NXT.
I expect main roster.
We'll see.
I would like her on the main roster.
I would too. My problem is that we don't really know enough like info on like all around wrestling. We just know her wrestling style is very catch style and technical and submission based, which is good, and we enjoyed it when we watched it. But I mean, we'll see what happens when it comes to what happens with Shayna. But as for the Rumble itself, there's going to be potential for some really good things happening. I'm predicting only 2 matches, and it's both the male and the female Royal Rumble.
I'd be fine with that. And
I think a lot of people would be fine with that.
Not gonna lie, what I would like is that it would be the male and female Royal Rumbles, and then you had the champions on either side, like just sitting and watching the match, because that kind of just gives it so much more gravity.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I am very excited. But I'm trying to find the article from where I read it, and all I'm finding is NXT results, and freaking Jinder Mahal, which is annoying. I don't want to see Jinder Mahal. I want to. Damn it.
Anyway,
I'll try and find it later. But I remember reading a confirmation that they are planning to do it because they do have the talent for that.
They definitely have the talent wealth pool now, and I'm actually really excited about it.
Yes, because they have.
Because the Royal Rumble is my favorite pay-per-view of all time.
Let's see. They got Fox. They got Fox, Naomi, Lana, Tamina, Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, Bailey, Alexa, Nia, Emma, Mickey, Dana, Summer Rae, Paige.
I haven't seen Summer Rae in forever.
They should be back by then.
Okay.
Asuka. I said Naomi. Christ.
It's okay. That's,
I'm already at 16.
Start bringing up some NXT probably potential call-ups. So you have the duo.
The iconic duo. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. You have Ember Moon. You have Carmella. How the hell do we forget Carmella?
Yeah, I don't know why we forgot about Carmella. You know what it was? She wasn't really at SmackDown this week. She wasn't in SmackDown, which is why I felt it kind of weird.
Well, you got to remember, we got to subtract 2 of those names for the champions.
Well, yeah, that's true. So, excluding, let's say, for all intents and purposes, Alexa and Natalya.
Yeah.
And then you have also the NXT call-ups. Then you also have the new signees just to putting in bodies. So you have Tessa Blanchard, you have Dana Purrazzo, you have...
How you know they're going to go to the main roster? I don't
They're
think
not.
So.
They're just there for the Rumble. God, why you gotta... Never mind. Bianca Belair, you have Baszler, you have Cyrie Kane.
Number 30, Ronda Rousey comes up. Because they're doing the 4 horsewomen of MMA versus NXT. There are more plans on that.
Yeah, there are more plans on that. And oh god, I wonder if that's what they're gonna do. That's how they're gonna introduce Ronda Rousey. They're gonna put her in the Rumble.
I think you
have her absolutely destroy everyone.
And then Asuka would win the Royal Rumble.
That's what you want? Because
yes.
Okay, so then who would face Asuka then? Or which champion would she go for? The Raw one? And then who would that be? Or if it's a SmackDown, which one would that be?
We forgot Nia.
Yeah, that's true.
I would like her to face Alexa Bliss.
All right.
I would like her to face Alexa Bliss.
All right, that's fair.
Just because I feel like that dynamic would be so good.
Well, yeah, there's that dynamic, and also the dynamic of Sasha Banks as well, because that's the only other match from that era of NXT that they actually have not had a match before.
Charlotte.
Well, Charlotte too, but they're definitely planning that, and I'm pretty no, really.
Becky got called up before she was announced.
All right.
She got called. They got called up in July. She announced that she signed her deal in August later that year.
All right.
Yeah, so they completely missed each other. Yeah.
Anyway,
wait. What if we get Eva Marie back?
We're not getting Eva Marie back, but if we do, no. So let's say if we book this right now, she comes out at number 22.
No, 29, and then Ronda Rousey comes out at number 30.
Well, she takes a really long entrance and then gets eliminated because she's gets eliminated like within 2 or 1 seconds to tie with the Warlord or Santina Morella's record. That would be hilarious.
No, I want her to come out at 29 and then have her enter the ring.
Well, I wanted to take the really long one with the voiceover work and everything like that because I missed that.
But like have like all the 4 horsewomen just surround her and she just runs underneath the bottom rope and tries to run away and then Ronda Rousey comes out. Book it!
But there's a lot of potential for the Rumble match.
Yes.
And I can't wait.
Yes.
Which then brings us to the third piece, which is a WWE survey that's been circulating as of the past couple of days, which some interesting features on them.
Yes.
Most notably was adding more PG TV-14 content.
Yes.
And potentially bringing back ECW.
So, courtesy of PW Insider, this is the survey that WWE issued Wednesday morning, reviving a new version of Extreme Championship Wrestling or another edgy TV-14 style wrestling program. What do you think of that?
I feel like there's so much name value that goes with ECW, but
adding that TV-14 rating really helps.
Yeah, they have to put the TV-14 rating there. There's no way around it.
Yeah, like I would be very...
Like you have the network that controls that TV guideline, and then you have parental controlled, so like little kids or like if you don't feel comfortable with like your children or your teenagers watching it, then they can.
Yeah, they do that with the Chris Benoit thing too and stuff.
Yeah. So they definitely have to. They can't bring back ECW or any kind of hardcore wrestling style. Like,
would you like that to be a brand?
Yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want anything involving ECW to commingle with Raw and SmackDown the same way. Like, I don't want like storylines crisscrossing into that because then it's going to be really confusing when you see a hardcore style match on Raw. And then
yeah, I got you. Just let it be its own thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if they do bring it back, I want Dean Ambrose to be their ECW champion. Yes.
Yeah. No, I got you. Let's see. We have broadcasting select house shows, which they started doing with Starrcade and stuff.
Well, I want them to do regular house shows and tour lines as well. So
yeah.
If they're going to do that, they need to do that part and also revitalize some older ones too, because I feel like there's a lot of value to that as well.
I can see that. WWE Legends House 2.
An Attitude Era version of it.
The Rock living with Stone Cold.
No, that's not gonna. The Rock's not going to do it.
Stone Cold living with Kama Mustafa.
Oh God! Book it right now.
WWE style reality series where the contestants are trying to win a job with WWE. Boo.
Well, they did. Well, that's like tough enough, but like, can they do a better version of it? That's more.
No.
I don't know. I feel like there's value to it.
No.
That's better than tough enough.
No.
Oh, stop.
I like buttons. We also have potential new tournaments, including WWE versus NXT. Yes. Lucha Libre tournament. Okay. Yeah. Tag team tournament. Yes.
Well, we kind of have already a tag team tournament, so they're doing two different styles. Or
it might be like including indie tournaments.
Okay.
Tournaments based on a region.
Yeah, I like that.
And King, Queen of the Ring tournaments.
I like that as well.
Yeah, like I'm excited that they even mentioned WWE versus NXT.
Yeah, I know. That's really awesome.
Like,
I would love to see that.
That would be
like this is my confusion. Like they've had the network since what, 2013, 14?
2014.
They've had it so for 3 years. They finally came up with this idea. Like
no.
As soon as the network came up, that's number one that came up on my list.
No, NXT finally became feasible enough because they finally got that
no,
following.
I mean, but a whole bunch of these other things, like bringing back ECW, like doing these whole bunch of other tournaments, and especially what is else on the list that you forget to mention.
No, I'm saving it for the end.
Okay.
WWE, though, the network was a trial period, and as a business major, you should really understand, like, you gotta, wait a couple of years to see how it really goes.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If you put out things that are good, because when they first started doing the network, they only had like a couple really good things. Like name a couple of really good shows that were on during the trial period.
Superstar Inc.
Okay, there were like 5 episodes of that, and they were 5 minutes long.
I know, but I'm upset they're gone.
But you're only saying that now because you have a tattoo. So
no, I've loved that show even before that.
I mean, yeah, I did too.
Unfiltered.
Unfiltered was good.
Table for 3, which they kept.
Table for 3 has its moments, but I feel like those docuseries, like how many docuseries can you really do?
I got you. But they're really. I think they're really starting to expand with the network. Which is good.
I feel like. Well, I mean, especially what happened like several months ago with because those subscribing rates were pretty bad.
Yes.
And they started canceling, Talking Smack and Raw Talk,
Yeah.
which we were pretty upset with. But I mean, there are other really good ones. I think Bring It to the Table was pretty good. There's just some that are like dumb, but they had an interesting concept to it. Like Ride Along, that's an interesting concept, but they were like, it was like 15 minutes too long.
Yes.
And it was not that interesting enough.
They had Superstar Roasts on here, WWE's version of The Office, Southpaw Wrestling.
Oh god, they need more Southpaw regional wrestling. That was so good.
They have a wrestling themed drama described as WWE's version of Game of Thrones.
Yes, I want that. I want the Office one really badly.
And the biggest things is that they listed broadcasting and listing promotions historic moments like Progress, New Japan, ICW, Ring of Honor, and Impact Wrestling TNA GFW.
Yeah, so
that's big.
That's huge, and that's it's good because then we get that content and it finally gets out there because there is hidden treasures within all of that stuff.
Yes, especially between people. I've seen Bryan Danielson versus CM Punk, CM Punk versus Samoa Joe, Tyler Black versus versus Bryan Danielson.
Kevin Steen versus El Generico and their huge ladder matches that they had all the time.
Claudio Castagnoli versus Bryan Danielson. A lot of these are Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, because they want to bring those in so they can keep Daniel Bryan in because they don't want him wrestling anywhere else.
Yes.
They want him staying in WWE.
Yes.
But then you also have like the early days of AJ Styles.
Yeah, AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe.
Bobby Roode you have for beer money, and hopefully if that happens, then we can actually get the real beer money back.
Yes. Who else? You could have all of Christian Cage's matches.
You have the birth of Bullet Club.
Ooh, yes, with Finn Balor, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows.
You have any New Japan death matches that were on there.
That might be a little much. That might get the TV 14 rating.
Well, of course it does. It's
but you would
Japanese
get,
death match.
You would get like Mick Foley versus Terry Funk.
Was that New Japan or was that All Japan? That's different. Those are two different things. I don't remember which one it was.
I think that might be All Japan.
I don't remember. But if we could find that match was really good.
Yes.
Really bloody and really not appropriate for kids under the age of 14, but still. But there's a lot of potential, and I'm more concerned with how much money they're going to be spending to get these licenses and these rights. So I think that the TV-style shows are going to be interesting, especially if they're doing like an Office-like and a Game of Thrones-like version of it. My number one thing is that they should put the WWE stars on those shows and not hire outside actors unless they're like behind the scenes people and they're doing like an office job or something like that.
Yeah, I got you.
Want more Southpaw Regional Wrestling because this past season was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's also the best way of like how you advertise in WWE is having something like Southpaw Regional Wrestling. And I'm a little upset that we didn't get this survey because we would have put in our inputs.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because I never got an email and I always get stupid emails.
You know what? I think it's because you never got yours from when you subscribed to WWE Network because I know I didn't because I don't own mine.
No, I haven't gotten any.
Without getting arrested.
I don't think I gotten any emails, or maybe.
But you own your network though, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
like I don't know if I got anything, or maybe I just really didn't. Maybe I just trashed it because.
We probably didn't even really look at it and
trash. Yeah.
Anyway, but there's a lot of potential for. Hopefully they get really good feedback, and hopefully they really consider all of this feedback that they're getting.
Yeah, I really hope that they do it, they use it and stuff. Yeah, I didn't get an email.
That's unfortunate, but
I really hope that they do what they're doing actually. So,
I really hope so. But we're gonna stop that talk for right now. Just if more information comes on that, we will let you guys know.
Yes.
But let's get on to one of the main things that our co-main event, so to speak, and that's our rest in peace tribute to Bobby the Brain Heenan.
From Beverly Hills, Angeles, California.
Everybody knows I'm gorgeous, pretty, beautiful, whatever you want to call me.
Bobby The Brain Heenan.
And what a tragic loss that we got.
Bobby the Brain Heenan was the one of the greatest announcers, play-by-play commentator.
Well, he wasn't
Not
play-by. He's more of a
color commentator. Excuse me, color commentator, manager, performer. He could do it all. It's very upsetting to hear that he passed.
I mean, we were too young to really fully appreciate Bobby Heenan. And that really hurts us because I remember when we got that news, one of the very first things I did was go on YouTube, look at the best of Bobby Heenan, and I kid you not, every promo I've looked at him was funny and hilarious, and like I took him seriously, and I hated his guts, but at the same time I loved him.
I remember I listened to a lot of his commentary when he was in WCW, because back when WWE had that their own channel on Optimum. My dad had it, and I would always watch WCW and WWE, and I would love his commentary just because he was always on point with it, and he was always funny with it. He was very entertaining. I remember,
especially with what he did with Gorilla Monsoon.
Oh my God, Gorilla
like before the WCW stuff. I know that kind of cut away, but he did a lot of really good stuff with Gorilla.
I remember he was. I remember the match. I think it was Mr. Perfect versus Ric Flair, or it was something. And I remember Bobby the Brain Heenan was commentating, and I believe he was pulling for. I think it was Mr. Perfect, and because I think if Mr. Perfect lost, he would have had to have left, and then he lost, and and then Bobby the Brain Heenan had to leave, which led to him trying to get back into the building with all those crazy zany characters that he came up with, like the Jewish guy and the girl and stuff.
Oh yeah, rewatching the first episode of Raw. I remember all those things, and they kicked Bobby out, and then they brought him, and he was trying to get back in and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And even even before the network, they had other content for WWE did, like primetime. What is it? The WWF primetime. Yeah, and there were just some really hilarious things that Bobby would say on it all the time.
Warnings for humanoids, like you white suckers out there that can't make the payment on your 65 Plymouth. They're gonna repo.
And just say crazy, zany things like that.
Have you gotten a lot of cards and letters? I was just going to mention, there's a lot of people concerned about me. I understand that, in Beverly Hills, I happen to know that my mailman right there is hunchbacked from just carrying my mail.
And just consistently being funny and bringing joy to people's hearts. And you love to hate him, and you hated to love him.
Bobby Brain Heenan gave birth to a lot of managers and zany characters and stuff. When I look at Bobby the Brain Heenan, I feel like I could see a lot of what Paul Heyman has taken over the years.
Yes, but even then, Paul comes nowhere close to Heenan.
Not in that regard, no.
And no one ever will, which is a really sad thing considering that now he's gone.
Yeah, Paul Heyman could sell a pay-per-view. Bobby the Brain Heenan can sell buy
everything.
It back and then sell it for more. Bobby was one of the greatest of all time.
Just consistent with everything he's ever done.
Yes.
I remember a lot of the promos that I was watching were a lot with Andre and Hogan, and being that mouthpiece for Andre. And the weird thing was that though you hated Heenan, you also hated Andre too. Because by proxy, and that's what really you do as a manager. You make the guy that you're managing either the heel or the bad guy or the good guy, and that vice versa. And Bobby knew how to do that well. And I mean, it's weird because we don't have too many memories of Bobby. All we have are just these great moments that we can look up on YouTube.
Yes.
And I mean, just keep listening.
I told him not to touch that midget. You never touch a midget. You never know where they've been. You're disgusting. You are completely disgusting.
For that time, that was hilarious. Now I'm looking really, Bobby?
I mean, yeah, really, Bobby. But at the same time, you're laughing when you
I'm
said that.
What?
I mean, we're laughing about it because it's funny too. And
Sorry to everyone who is
not a short standard person. Sorry, Peter Dinklage. I mean, if he's listening to this, I have no idea. But still,
I was about to say vertically challenged or fun size.
But I mean, at the end of the day, he was a comedy wrestler persona, and just making you laugh day in and day out. And looking back at it, we really missed that part of comedy wrestling a lot. Like, there's not another character in WWE now. I mean, you can make the argument Santino was, but he's not that funny.
No.
I mean, if you want to look at Grado, I mean, he's the newest version of Santino, and he's decently funny. Yeah. Like, funnier than Santino.
Yeah, but no one's as witty.
Yeah, no one... You can't, like... The best way that people describe it is when he goes out to the ring, and the way that he steals the show in the sense... Or not steal the show, but, like, have that weird, funny moments during it, is when the crowd starts chanting Weasel, and then he turns his head. And, like, just that reaction that you see every single time is hilarious. But then, like, he would just cut these funny promos on people. Like, listen.
How long have you been married, sir?
21 years.
You realize on your wedding night, if you'd have killed her, you'd be out now?
Like, that was, like, 20 years ago. We're still laughing about it now. See, it was a good idea that I did this. You were wondering what these were, and I'm surprised you didn't play these beforehand when we started making this recording.
I trusted you.
Did I pull it?
You delivered.
All right. But also, this other part of it was that he was a genuinely caring person. He loved every single person he worked with. Like, just listen to what he said about Gorilla.
Bobby The Brain Heenan. Before we start with tonight's action, Brain, there's something we both, but particularly you, have to say about our longtime friend, Gorilla Monsoon.
Gorilla will be sadly missed. He was one big tough man. He was a decent, honest man. And we're all going to miss him very much. And you know the pearly gates in heaven? Yeah. It's now going to be called the Gorilla position. Goodbye, my friend.
He was very classy, too, at the same time.
He had that weird mixture of everything that build a performer. Like, comedians look to Bobby Heenan, like, really back in the day, and they look to him for being funny. Like, at the end of the day, Bobby Heenan was a comedian.
Yes.
Like, everything that he did was solely based on making people smile and laugh and either hate him or love him. He was great at doing it. And there won't be anyone like a carbon copy footprint of exactly Bobby Heenan. I think in the next maybe in the next like 10 years or so, if some wrestler in WWE now were to lace his boots up right now and to be a manager, the closest person that I can think of and still would be nowhere near Bobby Heenan would be The Miz. He would be the absolute closest to being a Bobby Heenan-like character. But again, there just won't be that person. And like that, I think, along with Dusty, I think, are the two main things that are missing from this particular generation of wrestlers and even wrestling fans.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all we're going to say about Bobby Heenan. But to really commemorate and to really honor and give him memory, we're going to do the 10-bell salute.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you interested in a new travel destination? Well, look no further than Suplex City. This special destination's popularity has soared in the past 3 years, ever since it was constructed in Los Angeles, California, with its first ever resident by the name of John Cena. Since John Cena's arrival, many world-class athletes have taken residence in this city, including but not limited to Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, The Big Show, Goldberg, and The Undertaker. None of this would have been possible without the Nightmare himself, Brock Lesnar, and his advocate, Paul Heyman. So, if you would like to kick back, relax, and throw back a night of Germans, come on this one-way ticket to Suplex City for only $21 and $1.
We're going to miss you, Bobby, and hopefully that made you laugh just as much as it did us right here.
And that was our segue. That was our segue into...
our smooth transition into our predictions for No Mercy.
Yes. Are we going to go to Suplex City? Let's find out tonight. I'm going to read off the card for No Mercy. This is not a WrestleMania card. We have the Cruiserweight Championship, Neville defending against Enzo Amore. We have a fatal 5-way Raw Women's Championship match. Defending champion Alexa Bliss versus Emma, Nia Jax, Bayley, and Sasha Banks. We have the Raw Tag Team Championship with the Shield. Not really. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose defending against The Bar, Cesaro, and Sheamus. The Intercontinental Championship with The Miz defending against Jason Jordan. We have Finn Balor squaring off against Bray Wyatt. We have John Cena versus Roman Reigns in a WrestleMania Dream match. And finally, in the Universal Championships, we have Brock Lesnar defending against Strowman.
All right. Where do we start? We start with the Cruiserweights. Who do you got and why?
I got Neville.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
I picked Enzo. I thought we picked two different people, but all right.
We did.
I mean, no. I mean, like, normally I would have picked Neville, and then you would have picked Enzo.
I'm picking Neville because there are multiple reasons. One, Neville has been so dominant. I don't feel like Enzo's the one to take it off of him. Two, Enzo has a lot of backstage heat, so I don't think they're going to reward him with a championship. And 3, Enzo literally got demolished by Braun Strowman, and he's still going to be hurting. So I feel like that's going to factor in so much into their match.
That's true, and I would be amiss for that. But they wouldn't be pushing Enzo this much and putting him in this title contention if they're not planning to put the belt on him at this point. Like, they really squandered with Neville with the whole Tozawa thing, and like, I agree with you. Like, if they were gonna give it to Tozawa should have just stuck with it.
Yes.
Like, looking back at it, like, yeah, that's probably what they should have done. And I had this whole idea, like, Neville was going to be a year-long champion, and that's what the Cruiserweights really need to start. And I feel like they've already screwed that up. So might as well just give it to the guy that sells the most merch.
No, I don't want that. I think Neville's going to win. I feel like Enzo's going to lose, get his butt whooped, and then he's going to be fodder for Brian Kendrick.
I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, honestly, this match, I don't know if I'm entirely excited about this one. There's so many better matches on the card that I'd rather watch than the Cruiserweight.
But, fun fact, Enzo Amore now has more championship... No, he has the same amount of singles opportunities for championships as Big Cass.
Well, good for him.
You know, Big Cass challenge for the Universal Championship, Enzo challenge for the Cruiserweight Championship.
All right. Not bad. Not bad.
Right?
Then we're going to go to...
Fatal 5-way Raw Women's Championship match. Alexa Bliss, Emma, Nia Jax, Bayley, Sasha Banks. Who you got and why?
I'm going with Nia. But I mean, hold on. Let's actually back it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this a fatal 5-way? Why is Bayley back? I don't like this. No.
No. Stupid idiot. You just made the list.
I'm sorry, Bayley, but that's just a fact. I thought Braun Strowman comes out and just decimates Bayley. That's what you want? You sick freak?
I thought we were just pressing buttons.
Anyway, I'm not happy about Bayley being back.
I think that it's going to add new element.
Well, yeah, I know why they're doing it now, and I like it from that perspective. But the fact that they're doing it like this, there's no reason to have her particularly in the match. I would rather her come out because, like, I don't know, something goes on with, like, Sasha, and she tries to help, and then Sasha doesn't want it, and that's how you incorporate Bayley into that. Why does she have to be in the match? I don't get it.
Bayley cost Sasha the pinfall.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what's going to happen.
And then Alexa Bliss comes in and wins.
I don't know about that.
You think Nia?
I mean, she's been pretty dominant. I'm not gonna lie.
I think that they're postponing the Alexa Bliss Nia Jax title match for something bigger, like Survivor Series.
Possibly, yeah.
I would like to see that because Nia Jax and I don't know. I'd like to see them trade off and stuff. You know,
You would rather see those two trade off, and yet you hate the idea of the New Day and the Usos doing it.
Well, I feel like I'd rather see like the trade off between Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax later on at a bigger pay-per-view. That's what I would like to see. You know, the Usos and the New Day, they did their trade off early. You know, Alexa Bliss still has time. You know, and I'd like her to get a little more steam, considering the fact she just won it back from Sasha Banks like 3 weeks ago. So I would like to see her have a little bit more of a run, and then she could lose to Nia. But I'd like to see Alexa Bliss somehow retain.
We'll see what happens. I like the fact that we're not talking at all about Emma.
Emma was originally my pick.
Yeah, I know. Like, there's so much we could have done with Emma, and yet nothing. Like, I don't know what they're doing with Emma. I don't know.
You know what? Hopefully she'll prove us wrong, come out of left field.
You know what? That would make a really interesting way to watch No Mercy that then.
Yes.
But what is definitely going to happen, though, is they're setting up the Bayley-Sasha feud where Sasha's going to turn heel. And then we get the Sasha's Ratchet chants again because I missed those as a Sasha Banks fan.
Yes.
So that I want really badly. The next match, Raw Tag Team Champions.
The Shield versus the Bar.
Shield.
Yeah.
There's as much as I like the Bar.
I love the Bar.
Yeah, great tag team. Can't believe that they worked out this well. Like 2 years ago when they started doing that. Was it 2? It was like a year and a half. It was a year and a half ago.
Nope, last year.
It was last year?
Yeah.
Like last year when they started doing the Best of 7 series, and then they got to be a tag team again together. I had very low expectations, and they blew it out of the water.
Yeah.
So good for them. Cesaro and Sheamus, I like. They're one of the best things about Raw that I like watching every single week.
Yes, fantastic characters, fantastic performers, but they're gonna lose to the Shield.
Well, yeah, I think because you said a while ago about that whole movie thing that Sheamus is doing, and that's probably why.
I don't know. I just also feel like they're not gonna take the titles off of the Shield that quickly.
No, and I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen because you have like 2/3 of the Shield. And they're winning championships and they're looking good. And then you have Roman Reigns with John Cena, and we don't even know what's going to happen with that.
I feel like the Shield is going to...
They're going to reform?
No. Well, eventually. I feel like the Shield's going to end up feuding with the Usos leading into Survivor Series, and that's what we're going to see.
Because they'll be tag team champions versus tag team champions. All right.
And they've been spouting out a lot of like heat between each other, a lot of shade.
I would like that.
So that's why I'm thinking this is going to go.
All right, I like that.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Intercontinental Championship between The Miz and Jason Jordan.
Okay, let's backtrack this to the past Monday because that number one contenders match that they had was really good.
Yes.
Jason Jordan, as an in-ring performer, is very good.
Yes.
Speaking wise, still needs work, but not bad. And then The Miz always killing it, just 100% killing it every single week. Like,
I want The Miz to win.
Yeah, me too. Like there's no one else that I want. It's Miz.
It would be The Miz, and then it would lead into another feud with it would lead into a feud with Roman Reigns.
Yeah, because I think that's what we really want the most.
Yes.
Especially with I don't even know if we're gonna have the same one for that match, but we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Next match is Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt.
I don't even know why this match is happening.
Neither do I. I picked Finn.
Same here. He has more to gain.
Yeah, and it's really sad when we have to say Finn Balor has more to gain than Bray Wyatt does.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know. Maybe Bray can join Miztourage with his brother, Bo Dallas.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Get that weird. They get that weird cousin vibe thing going on. Like, hey, I'm here. Want to be in Hollywood. Want to be a star.
That's nasty.
Let's move on to the next one, which is John Cena versus Roman Reigns. Who do you got?
I'm picking Roman.
Really?
Yeah, Cena's leaving for a movie. Roman Reigns could probably use the boost. And then if Roman Reigns defeats John Cena and Undertaker in the same calendar year, then he could challenge Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship and then win it off of him. And then he beats all three of them and then cements himself as the top guy.
That's your brain thinking that. That's not what you want, though.
Nah.
You want John Cena.
Yeah, but this isn't about my heart. This is about me winning back my championship belt.
Well, all right. I'm picking John Cena because in my head, I'm thinking this is actually a way better story to tell for Roman Reigns' perspective. Because he loses, then he starts doubting himself. Then when he goes off to face The Miz for the IC Championship, he loses to The Miz, then starts doing a whole heel turn thing, and then possibly leading to another rematch with John Cena, and then absolutely crushing John Cena. And then eventually getting to the Universal title picture, then reforming with the Shield, and then ruling WWE as top guy. That's how I'm seeing it as a redemption story and everything like that. So that's why I'm picturing it as.
I just see it Roman Reigns like spearing everyone, and then being like,
spear, Superman punch, spear, Superman punch. It's a lot like it's the Goldberg method. Spear, jackhammer, spear and jackhammer, spear, Superman punch.
Worked.
Thing. It did. Unfortunately, it worked with someone that was more appealing to watch than Roman Reigns.
I think Roman Reigns is gonna win.
It's a possibility. I'm sticking with John Cena.
You learn not to bet against Roman Reigns.
I mean, that's what we said about Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman came out the other end of that deal. So, I mean, I don't know.
No, I said Braun would win it. Here's the thing. If you bet with Roman versus Braun, you bet Braun. Any other guy, you bet Roman.
Well, and Cena? Really? Against Cena?
Cena's a part-timer. The way they're having Roman go off.
Yeah, but he's a better part-timer than Roman is a better full-time person. Haven't you been listening to the promos? Come on.
I have. And then I'm going to have to watch him on YouTube because I won't see John Cena on Raw for the next 6 months. So.
I still think it would be a better story-wise, but, I mean...
I think that they're going to pull the trigger and give it to Roman.
That's always a possibility. I'm not going to rule it out.
Yeah.
But let's move on
Let's just hope it's a great match.
Well, being a co-main event and a potential that's a real WrestleMania card right there. I mean,
yeah.
And then we follow up with the main one, which is one we're all excited about.
It is.
Versus.
What he's trying to say is, Suplex City, bitch.
Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, same here.
I really want Braun to win.
I know.
But Brock winning just barely
would satisfy me for the match. I mean,
because Braun Strowman could tear into Brock Lesnar to the point where he has to vacate the Universal Championship. That would be good.
Listen, even if he goes like slightly scathed, Brock Lesnar, the one thing I want happening in this match is Braun Strowman launching an announce chair at Brock Lesnar and then accidentally hitting Paul Heyman.
That doesn't work though because no DQ. There's disqualification.
No, but like he tries to go hit Brock ducks and it hits Paul Heyman. That's what I want. That's the spot that needs to happen.
I want blood.
Oh, just a little. Definitely from Brock.
Oh my god. This is going to be a scary match.
I'm so excited about this one.
I'm so excited. I feel like Brock's going to win, though. Just barely. I just want Brock to start pulling out moves he hasn't used in a while, because obviously Braun Strowman is immune to German suplexes.
Oh, just imagine. We see Braun Strowman just laid on the ground. Brock Lesnar hits the top and does a shooting star press.
Oh, God, no.
Like, he swore never to do that, but it would be amazing if he was like, you know what? I think I'm going to try it this time and see what happens. Hopefully I don't concuss myself.
Even a powerbomb would be nice.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would love to see a powerbomb for Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman. Oh, my God. It would be great. Anyway, that is our review for No Mercy. Keep track of our social media for updates and stuff like that for both the show and for No Mercy.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Thank you, everyone, for staying tuned to our podcast. Special shout out to the Sachem Public Library for the continued use of their equipment and space. Continue to support us by subscribing to Patreon, SoundCloud, Audio Boom, Google Play Music, and iTunes. at Marks for Life Podcast. And check out our YouTube channel, Marks for Life, for all our podcasts and special content. Please follow us on our social media on Twitter at Marks for Life Pod, Instagram at Marks for Life Podcast, and our Facebook page, Marks for Life Podcast. And also email us at marksforlifepodcast@gmail.com for any questions you want to ask us. Until next time, Audio Marks.